That's a beautiful thing. That's the way kind of I started too. When I got into handball, it was a lot of females.
Yeah.
Females were playing, and you know the guys weren't playing until later on. They started playing paddle, and the guys came playing handball.
Yeah, there were females there, but the females were properties. The game, you couldn't look at them. Yeah, no, they weren't again to it. You couldn't look at them because they were considered property.
Yeah, back in the days it was rough. So how does the game of the handball nowadays compare to the 60s, 70s, 80s?
Back then, people had more of a uniqueness as far as everyone wanted to bring in something different into the game. No two people really looked alike. Yes, you had the ace. Everyone knew that the low ball, and if it got away from you, was called an ace. But the way you, excuse me, went around about doing the ace, that's where the uniqueness came in. You know, some people would take a pause, some people would get real low. That changed the dynamics of the game, which is kind of like an art, is lost. Today's games, I'm not knocking anybody, I mean, they're great. You look at the games today, it's more like a parallel. They're playing a parallel game. You know, they're staying strong, they're staying consistent. Problem is that consistency doesn't make for efficiency. Because you can consistently hit the ball to me, and I can consistently kill it. So who's efficient? So back then, people were more efficient with their consistency. Today, people are very consistent. Few people want to take shots. And then when they lose the game, they'll say things like, well, I was consistent, I didn't hit anything out. And I say, yeah, you was consistent, but you wasn't efficient. Because you consistently hit it to that guy, and that guy consistently rolled it out.
And what do you mean by efficient?
The rollout. For example,
Taking a shot.
you consistently hit it to Bernie, for example, and then Bernie consistently takes your consistent shot and rolls it out. Who's efficient? The guy who's putting it away. That's what I mean by efficiency.
I know a lot of players that, I'm not going to name any names, but a lot of players, like you say, they have so-called stamina, they're very consistent, but, you know, they hit the same shot. They're predictable. And to me, being predictable, it doesn't advance your skills because, you know, in handball, you want to be unpredictable. You don't want anybody to know where you're going. You know, you want to make that last shot and make sure everybody's where they're at. But they don't do that. Like you're saying, now it's consistent. Hit the middle. Everybody's battling the middle. I'm like, you know, whoever's going to mess up is the one who had a bad day or had a rough night. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, because back then, what it was, I think today's players are more interested in being physically capable players. Back then, people were more interested in being mentally fit to play the game, meaning that back then when you played singles, when you was in the long line, you was not asking people to raise bets. You was not doing that. When you was on that long line waiting for your serve, you was attentive, was paying attention because first of all, the guy is unique in his serve. You don't know where he's going. That's the key thing you didn't know. You have to figure him out. You can't figure him out if you're crawling around. So now when you watch some of the players today, you can see from the video that they're standing in the back with their hands in their waist, nonchalant. Some people even waving at people, asking to raise bets. So why are they doing that? Because they know that the person that's serving don't really got nothing for them. The ball is going to come right back to them. That's what's happening. You see, you're not guessing. It's just he's going to hit it to me. He's going to hit it to my left. He's going to hit it to my right. People aim for people's hands today. Back then, people didn't aim for your hands. They aim for open space. Wherever you was not, that's where the ball was going. So if you hear, the ball went the opposite way. Today they aim for your hands because everyone is training to be ambidextrous. They want to have two great hands today, and they do. But guess what? You can't have two Jordans on one side, on one team.
You remember that guy? It was Hector. That Boricua, you know. And he used to have one shot, right?
Yeah.
That shot from the weak side to the corner. And he used to just blow that shit up.
Hector, they said his brother's Victor?
Not sure.
Yeah.
Not sure. I know he used to play with Bucky.
Okay.
You know, that dude, he's kind of like, you know, he used to work out easy. But Ibaro. But my thing is that guy only had one shot. He was able to beat anybody at any time, you know, because that shot was so automatic.
And you know what he's saying? What Bernie's talking about, signature shots.
Signature shot. This is what I was telling you the other day.
Back then, people had signature shots.
That's to do with the low shot.
Right.
That's to do with the cut.
Right.
Yeah.
Everyone had a shot that they mastered.
Yeah.
Even if that was their only shot, right? And so now, once people got to know you, they already develop a strategy around your signature shot. They say, you can't hit it to him this way because he's going to do this. Today's players, I'm not saying all of them, but I'm just saying when you watch today's players, I don't see the signature shots. I see shots. I see spontaneous shots. But I don't see that signature shot that tells the receiver, the one who's receiving the serve, I got to be ready. Because I got to be careful. Because if I do this guy's going to put it away. I see a lot of rallying going on, a lot of volleying going on. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. But when you're playing every round 21-20, 21-19, 21-20, yeah, you're going to be burnt out, you're going to get cramps, and most likely you won't win the event. Because you don't have a strategy, and if you do have a strategy, you don't have that secondary, you don't have that backup. You got to have a backup plan. You got to have plan A and plan B. And then plan C is when you lose, you see your way out. That's plan C. That's automatic. You don't got a plan. Right, you don't got a plan C. That's automatic. That's there.
You don't want to call next. You want to say next four.
Right. Just worry about A and B, and then C will take care of itself. Signature shots, it's lost. It's an art that's been lost in the serve. You can see the way people serve today. They serve very nonchalant. They're not putting much effort into it. Back then, the serve meant striking you out. When you in the short line serving, when you're the server, the guy behind you is the hitter. You're thinking the best serve, the best pitch, strike them out. That's the ace. But if they get it, you're already anticipating one or two shots set up. That was the serve. The serve was to finish you off as quick as possible so that you don't get into these longevity games.
Yeah.
21-20 every round.
Especially if you're not healthy.
Right, you're trying to hustle. Back then it was a hustle. So you want to get the game over as quick as possible because the money was lining up. You want to get them $2 or $5, whatever it was, $20, whatever they were betting. You're talking about from the 70s all the way to this day. People were hustling. Today, it's more about accolades, and that's a good thing, not wrong. But what I'm saying is you can see the posture in receivers and in people that are serving. It's not really much going into it.